Good morning, viewers. You're welcome. This is the Women's Voice, a platform by Women Rights Initiative. Thank you so much for taking time to always getting on to learn and listen and tap from a source of knowledge from the different guests that we bring. My name is Annette Nyonyintono, and I'm going to be moderating today's discussion. And today we are going to be speaking about financial inclusion and, of course, what opportunities exist for women in Uganda. And we have a guest. Welcome, Mr. Changwa Ivan. I want you to introduce yourself so that our viewers get to know you, and then we'll, of course, begin our discussion. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Annette. Once again, I'm Ivan Changwa, the District Community Development Officer, Ginger District Local Government. We need to draw a line between Ginger District Local Government and Ginger City. DCDO Ginger District Local Government. And I'm glad to be part of this good initiative, this good platform provided to us as local authorities to talk to our people as well. And let me hope now the light is okay.
Yeah, it's a bit okay, but I don't know. I don't know if the viewers can see you clearly, but nevertheless, we will still continue because they can hear you. Mr. Changwa, I was saying that today we are going to be speaking about financial inclusion, and of course, we'll continue to learn about what opportunities exist for women in Uganda to tap from. And I want you to, of course, tell the viewers what probably financial inclusion is and what it means for someone that is in Uganda and what there is for someone to understand from this big term. I call it a big term because issues of finance are not easy for everyone to understand. So please enlighten us more on financial inclusion.
Thank you, Annette, again. I have to say that lately the government of Uganda, especially with the most recent policy and legal initiatives in this country, we have taken on inclusive development seriously as a strategy. So financial inclusion comes in as a way to answer the challenges of inclusive development, with a key element now being financial inclusion. Basically, financial inclusion looks at the availation of services, either in form of especially financial services, to the wananchi, to the members of our communities, in terms of opportunities or in reality, in an equal manner, with a particular focus on equity, fairness, and especially if I'm to define the term financial inclusion within the mandate of the department I head as a district, which mandate is inclusion of especially the vulnerable people, taking into account the women, the youth, the elderly, and people with disabilities. So we look at we are responding to inclusive development, a particular focus on financial inclusion as a pillar and entailing offering opportunities and services which can bring affordable financial services to the vulnerable poor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chango. And of course, speaking about the vulnerable and considering the women, we know that women have always played key roles in the economy of Uganda. And
Yeah.
according to research, I think 1 in 3 businesses is woman owned, and we want to understand. But of course, with the COVID pandemic, a lot of businesses were closed, and of course, according to information or to research, 34% of businesses that were owned by women were closed, compared to those that were owned by men. Because of course, women, the businesses that women own are usually small and mostly informal. So I think that is partly the reason why this came out. But we want to understand what opportunities exist for women, because of course there is a lot of challenges around businesses being owned and run by women. So maybe we can, if we understand what opportunities are there for women, it's easy for us to share on the challenges and how to go about it. So please share with us what opportunities exist, but specifically for women.
That's a very broad question, but it goes into my mind that maybe your interest is as a government representative or as a district commitment officer, what opportunities are at the disposal of women to harness in terms of financial inclusion? Like, is that right?
Yes, please.
But generally, I'll start from the general perspective. Every opportunity relating to financial inclusion in this country takes into account the plight of the woman. But only that the challenges are many as compared to women for them to harness them, to harness those opportunities. Going back to the issue, as the government representative and the district community development officer, government is doing a lot, and the government will continue to do a lot, considering that the plight of women is still with us. Lately, a number of interventions have been put on the table by government, despite other challenges. And these opportunities have come in terms of programs, in terms of interventions, in terms of projects. Mention starting financial 2017, 2018, the government of Uganda put on table a program called the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, UWEP. I think you heard about it, and a number of members of our communities are aware of it. Those who are not aware, then it's a constraint, it's a challenge on our side, because we are under obligation to ensure that they are aware of it. So since financial 17-18, that opportunity has been on table. The program basically has the 3 objectives. One, provide affordable financial services to our women. 2, to equip our women with the necessary skills to enable them to do better in an enterprise they have identified. 3, to link them to market opportunities in the form of 1, information, 2, actual market. The key objectives of the program. It manifests itself in form of a money, a funds, a startup capital provision scheme where women come together and form groups and register them. Initially, we had groups of around 15 members, but as time went on, I think 2-3 years ago, the guideline was revisited and we took a position that we should have a minimum of 5 women, because it was becoming a challenge to our women to mobilize, and in the end of mobilizing, they were landing on people with funny attributes. So as we reduced the number, a little bit became easier for them. They get a maximum of 12 millions, 500,000, that's the maximum. But how much the group gets is based on an assessment exercise. Financial visibility, commercial visibility, market visibility, and the marks are accordingly awarded. To finally get a group to benefit from this fund is a process where at a village meeting, let me say village A, you'll see one meeting, group members make their proposal, informal proposal, and the villagers will say, these ones are okay. Go ahead and start considering them. Remember, the word is considering. It doesn't mean that they are getting the money. Go ahead, start considering. So that after that, they submit an interest form, then an application form. The papers are a little bit many, and it has been a challenge. But government works in a formal way. Certain things we cannot avoid them. Then they submit a business plan. Lately, we have a little bit flexible, and it's the role of the community development officers at sub-county level to guide them through these processes. First approval is at the sub-county technical planning committee level. The sub-county executive committee approves. In fact, the word is not approval, it's endorsement, political endorsement. They own. Technically, the approval is done by sub-county technical planning committee. After that, the group is submitted to the district level, then through the district technical planning committee, then the district council approves. After approval, at sub-county level, you may receive around, in a particular sub-county, you may receive around 20 groups. But through an assessment exercise, at district level, there may be 10, the sub-county X. Then after the district technical planning committee to appraise, and the council approving, they may remain 11, may remain 5, from 20 to 5. Not that we are interested in throwing away their files, no. We assess a number of factors such that at the end of the day, we get a group which can actually pay the money, because this money is not a grant, it's a loan. After approval at the district level, files are submitted to the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. the UWEP Secretariat. And the final consideration is done by the TSU, Technical Support Unit of the Secretariat. So from a sub-county, they may drop for reasons. They even give reasons why they have dropped file X. From a sub-county where you have sent 5 files, you may get feedback that about approved. After getting the money, these groups have qualified. Sometimes they reduce the amounts with reasons. A particular group requested for 12 million, they reduced to 8. For example, in the budget, when a group has put close to 5 million or 2 for transport, we usually focus on assets and actual project inputs, things which can be seen, be used, caused, to bring back the money. So after approval, the message is sent back to the group. We do vigorous training. We do site visits. They prepare themselves, they open accounts, and the money is released to their accounts. So that's an opportunity. That's UWEP now. There are a number of other programs. I don't know whether you are interested in all of them because I have close government, as I told you in the beginning, a number of programs are on the table. There are about 5 more. And each has a special treatment for women. And the methodology of accessing this support is slightly different. So what do you think, Annette?
Thank you so much, Mr. Changwa. And of course, I know that the viewers would want to know in details, but maybe considering that we have categories of women, maybe we can specifically help the young women to also understand, because I think that UWEP is a general program that women can tap into, but maybe considering that in Uganda 25 to 30% of young women are neither in school or employed, maybe you can share with us the opportunities that exist for the young women, to be specific.
Annette, who is a young woman, I presume 19 to 24?
Yes, please.
UWEP targets 18 years and above. 18 to 65, then from 65, then from 18 to 65 is a target by UWEP. Then 80 plus, we have SAGE. So I think even young women, like I have a group in we are now ginger this law government as a result of the breakaway of the city. 3 sub-counties were taken, including Udondo, Ugembe, and Mafubira. But I used to have a group in Udondo sub-county, purely for young girls of 18 to 30 years. And this is just to emphasize that UWEP targets 18 years and above. A special program for those categories of people, as of now, we don't have it. We only have, we see manifestations of intervention from our development partners, civil society organizations. They are doing quite well. To include WUDA, some of these organizations are doing quite well. They are basically targeting 19 to 24 years. Yes, Annette.
Thank you so much, Mr. Changwa. And of course, I asked because there are a lot of issues. Of course, when we are speaking about the vulnerable people, and also as you were explaining the details of how these opportunities and funds can be accessed. And of course, you also mentioned that the process is a bit long, and because it's a formal process, most of our women do not have that esteem, or they are not informed, first of all, and second, they fear the processes that include uh, printing paper, filing, and going to different offices. But maybe, Mr. Changwa, how easy is it to access these funds? Considering that you've mentioned that it is a formal process, and also there are people that always come to take advantage of such opportunities, and they want to probably take money from these groups and from women. What is the process? Probably you can guide us on where to specifically go for information and how to do it, to make it easy for the groups and the women that want to access these opportunities and the funds.
Net, we have in place systems and structures through which this money can be accessed. Start with is the LC1, where to be considered starts from. And LC1 is the structure of government. So at that level, we sieve out, and the committee members make the recommendations themselves. After that, we have the structure of the sub-county, where we have a community development officer and the sub-county chief and town agents. That again complicates matters a little bit because the structures are many. But you can't rule out structures where formality is.
Yes, of
So
course.
how easy is it to get the money? It's easy provided you have what is required from you. Part of the information is one, the national ID. That answers the other question of how we get rid of people who can be, how we get rid of fraudsters. But every fraudster also has an ID, isn't it? Can have a national ID. But we have the LC system. We have the CDOs. We even do desk and field appraisals. Desk appraisal basically looks at the documentation in file. For clarification, we go to the site and we get the basic information that we may need. So by doing this, we open up accounts. Systems are there to open accounts. Not an easy task. Open accounts. Recommendations are made from my office, from LC1s. Executive committees sanctions the documents. Own up. So to a young woman who easily gets, we know by character, stage management, our young women easily get bored. And they tell us in finance, one of the principles of getting the right people to get your money is testing that person for patience. So that's one of the ways of testing for the impatient people can't wait. They will go out automatically. The impatient people can't wait, they will go out automatically. So how easy? That's how easy it is. You simply have to have the necessary documentation, present right information, be in the know of what is required from you, and you'll get this money. About getting bored by nature, especially of our young people, we have trained personnel, the CDOs. We have been trained to handle them. We understand the data. We nurture it into getting the money, and we have succeeded with some. Thank you. Yes, Annette.
Thank you so much. And I'm not sure, Mr. Changwa, how long these opportunities have existed, but I know that there are packages that came because of COVID. But maybe based on your experience, because I know that you've run this program for some time, and you've been in the communities, you've assessed groups, you've monitored groups. What is challenging for these groups, especially for women? Because of course opportunities are still coming for other groups, and maybe for others to learn from those that have received the funds. What has been challenging, and what lessons can we learn from those that have received the funds, and probably what best practices can can we learn from those groups?
What is challenging? Well, there are a number of challenges. There was there was this challenge of information going to the not going to the right people. Most government programs suffer from elite capture, where our people who are under the carpet don't usually get the information first time. By the time they get information, people who are already at a certain level in terms of incomes have already captured, denying the right people to get the what? The opportunity. That was the challenge. And indeed it's still a challenge, but we have carried out a number of interventions to see to it that we go under the carpet. And we have succeeded with some. Some of the ways of delivering this information to these people is again through our structures. The radio, the media. We have our parasocial workers. And indeed, me, I'm comfortable that information about your web has reached whoever is interested in this information. Some have opted not to pick interest, but whoever is interested, so it's not as of now a big challenge. The other challenge is that government has the demand is high. It's a challenge. The number of women who are interested in this money is big, to the extent that some submitted the first time in 2018, 19, they are still resubmitting. They have not succeeded. It's quite boring and tedious and irritating, but that's what is happening. But what is the driver? The driver is that the interest and the need for this money, for this service is high. The need to harness into this opportunity is high. And what is causing the need to be high, but the supply is not sufficient enough? Government has limited what? Resources.
Funds.
Resources are not sufficient. The other challenge is that people who come in, they qualify through the assessment process, they qualify. But their intention is very different. Want to get the money and eat it. Eat the money. But this money is meant to be paid back, and you revolve it as a isn't it? That money doesn't go back to, of course, it goes back to being a public fund, it goes back to the recovery account in Bank of Uganda. But it's money for that particular district, which means to finally come back to that particular district. So if you eat it, you are eating the seed capital. We've tried a number of measures to ensure that they pay the money. Some are stubborn, some are politically connected. We have infected the RS. But as compared to other programs, you did give me the opportunity to say one or two things about YLP. Women are doing far, far better than our youth. They try to pay. And where they fail to pay, it's because she has paid school fees for a certain boy, for a certain child somewhere. it's because she has made a medical bill somewhere. So that for I have the evidence. It's not deliberate, but for the other side of the program, there are a number of issues, and to tell you the truth, as a district, we are doing quite well with our women. The recovery rate is at now 43%. Post COVID, as you say, affected us. It's a challenge. This was a one-time challenge, but some business just got crippled totally in totality. They cannot be traced. Some of our women decided to disappear. We are trying to trace them. Some have just run away. It's quite unfortunate. Why? Because of the impact, the effect of COVID. So those are some of the key three challenges. Some enterprises collapsed, some ate the money. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's good news that at least the women are trying their level best to work and use the funds, because it's really sad that when the money is eaten, it cannot come back to be revolved to other groups. But Mr. Changwa, as we conclude, I know that most of the challenges with finances and business come with the knowledge of financial management and all that is required. Do you give some training before and also as these groups are running the businesses, just to help them grow and also understand what is challenging and the shift? Because with business and finances, there are always shifts. Like now, that the economy is a bit, high, costs are high and everything is high. Do you offer trainings before you give the funds, and also as the groups run the funds, the programs?
Um, Once groups have received the money, who is trained? We are only lucky. We, all- the finances at our disposal can only permit us to train project management committee members. Expecting them to go and train group members. It's unfortunate that some don't do it. They keep information to themselves. And sometimes some of the people we train are not trainable. You know our background as a country in terms of literacy levels, but we try to ensure that we give them the basic information. Like we can't train somebody who has not gone to school in managing those books of accounts. It's not easy. We try, but it's not easy. That's against the background that our literacy levels in this country are a little bit higher. So after we've trained them at that level, especially the project management committees, the social accountability committees, the procurement committees, we resort to mentoring. Mentoring is one-on-one. You go for supervision and you find a group or group members lacking in a certain aspect, you mentor them, because training becomes a little bit costly. And you remember the groups are many. Like since 2018 to date, we have 107 groups of UWEB, of around the 10 people on average. So those are how many beneficiaries. What's the size level number? 10 times 100. You get it? So that's UWEB alone. So training, we usually look for where the problem is and we mentor. Where the training need is and we mentor. Training need and we mentor. But our desire would be to train every group, depending on the training need. But we don't have resources, and we can't do it without resources. So we devised the alternative of mentoring.
Thank you so much. And I think that you can also partner with other organizations. I know that there are those that specifically do business trainings and entrepreneurship, that have entrepreneurship models for communities and groups, and they can come and train those groups, because it's, we all aim at the same goal. Doesn't matter
Yes.
if you train women from Buwenge or from Jinja City. We all aim at making sure that women work and also contribute to the development of our country. And
That,
thank you so much, Miss.
but that's a moment. That's very true, because you partnered with Ugaford, and Ugaford is doing a tremendous job. But allow me say something small before we end this. The only government program, the UEP is not the only government program on table offering opportunities to our women. As of now, we have PDM. PDM is the parish development model. It's a strategy, it's a vehicle where services are going to be provided for our communities at parish level. Government is moving away from the district level, from the sub-county level to the parish level. And some of these services are going to be provided through 7 pillars. One of the pillars of the 7 is financial inclusion. And the percentages have been from the fund, the fund which is going to be provided at parish level of each parish. It is clear that we pass 30% of that money. Like this financial year, we are expecting 17 millions for each parish, and as of now, we have 32 parishes. 30% of the 7 billions is for women. Special package has been created for women. Women, I don't know, but that's the trend. 30% for the youth, then the elderly, 10 plus others, 10%. So that is the PDM, and specifically pillar number 3, financial inclusion. The other one is PCA. PCA is the Parish Community Association model. Special package for women. Again, as you know, most of the money, the good thing is that most of the funds going to the lowest point of governance. I'm telling you, Annette, 70% of that the women are grabbing it wholeheartedly. Because one, they are more organized. They got organized the area. So even under the PCA model, we have so far given out, under the PCA model, we have given out so far 500 millions, 500 millions. And I have to tell you that close to 400 millions has gone to the pockets of women. Why? They got organized much earlier. So basically, these are some of the programs we have. Then we have SAGE. I have the group in Ikagoma, Magamaga Parish, where a woman of 82 years has used the 25,000 monthly remittance, and now he has the 10 pigs, and is 82 years. So I picked interest in her, that I organized a group around her to join PCA, and she's going to benefit more under PCA. So we have a number of packages. Government is doing a great job on it.
Thank you so much, and it's great news that we've been able to tap into your pool of knowledge, and also thank you so much for committing time to sharing this information, because I know it's very, very important to have information at the tip of your hands, because information is power. We've been humbled, and I know that we had a lot to share, but because of time we cannot continue. this discussion. For people that have missed, please, you can go back and watch this conversation on our platforms, on YouTube and our Facebook page. And please learn, share as much as possible. And if you can share this information to your neighbor, your friend, your relative, your sister, the better. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye.